Good day, wider BGC family. I hope all of you are doing well. Of course, we praise God for your lives, and we're continually praying for you in the midst of this pandemic. And we hope that these devotional videos are helping you grow in faith. So today, I have a question for you, and that question is, what are you living for? What are you living for? In a famous coffee commercial here in the Philippines, they have a tagline that says, "Para kanino ka bumabangon?" or "Para saan ka bumabangon?" So today we continue with the story of Paul being in prison and awaiting trial. Last time, or in the last video, we saw how Paul had a very positive perspective with the things that are happening to him, that he's able to say that everything that has happened to him led for the advancement of the gospel, or the gospel would be preached all the more. And so during this time, he gives yet another bold declaration that is found in Philippians chapter 1 verse 21. And that verse says, "For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." To live is Christ, to die is gain. You know, death and gain are not usually used in the same sentence. We rarely see that, especially in the midst of this pandemic. Many people, of course, are fearful for their lives. We've seen the threat of deaths in the other countries, even here in our own country. But here we see a man who had a different meaning attached to death. Now again, because Paul was awaiting trial, he wasn't sure if he would be released or executed, but he had a powerful perspective that even death is profitable. It is gain for him if it meant exalting Christ. If it meant that when he stood in trial, he would have that opportunity to preach about Christ. He would have that opportunity to tell other people about Christ. And also because he would be in the presence of Jesus. He was sure of that. He knew of that if ever he would die. So he really turned his prison into platform. But Paul also had a clear meaning of living when he said to live is Christ. Now this is just a four-word statement, but it really packs power. It really packs a punch. What is Paul saying here when he says to live is Christ? He says that his whole being, his whole beginning and ending is Christ. The whole aim, goal, purpose of his existence is Jesus. That his ultimate satisfaction is in Jesus. You know, in the midst of COVID right now, where we are in lockdown and quarantine, we feel that we're being stripped away of our usual routine, of access to, our favorite restaurants, and going to the movies, and going to the mall, going to the work, transportation. And, we're just here in our houses and we have nothing to do. But for me personally, it's a very revealing season, because I get to check my heart on what really matters for me. That when I am stripped off of all these earthly things, what really defines my life? What really defines my life? What do I consider of ultimate value? That even if right now I don't have the full access to what usually gives me pleasure, earthly pleasure, what remains is that eternal, ultimate pleasure of being a follower of Jesus. And so I hope that you'll also be encouraged that even in the midst of this quarantine, we have that ultimate pleasure. We still have an amazing life because we are believers of Jesus, and our whole life should be for Him. As believers, we are not living just to live, but for us to live is Christ.